Hi there. I was sitting here thinking I wanted to make a little about me video just to let you know what I'm about, and how I got into reading tarot cards, and how I got into just spirituality in general. I mean, I always knew I was different. I saw things different. I experienced things different. I felt other people's energy. Didn't know what it was. At a young age, I had no idea what any of that was. It wasn't until a few years ago I even learned what an empath was. I've always known that I was, I am a self-proclaimed weirdo. I named the channel Weirdo Love Tarot because, well, I'm a weirdo, and I have no problem with that. I strive these days to be different than everybody else. I don't want to be like anybody else. I just want to be me. I want to love me the way I am. I think more people need to do that these days. More people need to quit trying to live up to everybody else's expectations and just be who the hell they are. I used to come home from school. I remember coming home from school and crying to my mom, I don't understand why nobody likes me. Because I was weird. It was pretty obvious I was weird. I was the smart girl, the book nerd, the computer geek, I was into, comic books and, fantasy and sci-fi and, the stuff that wasn't back in the 80s. I played Dungeons and Dragons. I lived in front of my computer. I was just different. A lot of people didn't understand. But I eventually learned that it's okay if people don't like you. You don't have to fit in. You don't have to be part of the crowd. Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't know anything about being an empath. I just knew that there were weird things going on in my head, that there were certain people that I just knew were people I needed to stay away from. There were people that I gravitated to just based off of what I felt from them. Unfortunately, being an empath, being kind-hearted, I'm a Libra. I'm a Libra in every sense of the word. I'm ruled by love. Libra is ruled by Venus. I love love. I love everything about love, and I tend to love unconditionally. So I dealt with a lot of abuse from men, my bad choices in men that loved me. A lot of abuse, physical, sexual, mental, verbal. But me being me, I thought I could change them. You can't change anybody. Nobody changes unless they want to change. It took me a long time to learn that. But, with every situation, with every bad relationship, I learned my lessons and I grew. I ended up getting into a lot of drugs and alcohol and anything to numb what was going on in my head, because I didn't like knowing things and not knowing how I knew things. I didn't know anything about intuition. I was never into all the spirituality. And a couple years ago, about 8 years ago, I started dating a man that I knew for, 2012, I started dating him. So almost 9 years ago. Started dating a man I knew that I met when I was 12 years old. We were friends. He was friends with my brother. We kind of grew up together. He spent a lot of time at my house because we had a pool, and he'd come over swimming. And but I learned later on that none of my brother's friends were allowed to date me because I was off limits, which is why I never had much of a dating life in high school. Anyway, we were dating for about 6 years, and about 2 years ago, the most traumatic thing that could ever happen to a person happened to me and my kids. This man that I trusted with everything, who I never thought would ever hurt any of us. Well, to make a long story short, it was one of those things that was on the news, and he ended up being killed by the police after hurting my child, and took me a while to recover from that. I'm still, every once in a while, things happen that make me think, you know, and that'll always be. I mean, you suffer from trauma, and now I was never into spirituality. I was never into like tarot, any of that. I mean, I knew I liked, like, on social media, you like the spiritual memes and whatnot, but I never knew anything about like waking up or intuition or any of that stuff. Well, trauma does funny things to you. Like I said, he was killed by the police after a 13-hour standoff at my home. My daughter got hurt, but she has completely healed, and she's just thriving. She graduates next Sunday. She's my second baby to graduate. Today was her last day of high school. Anyway, we lost our home. It was completely destroyed. Pretty much everything we owned was destroyed. And here I was, traumatized with 2 kids. Well, I have 3, but with a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old in tow, with no place to live. Very nice lady. Had a house that was just sitting vacant. She let us live there for over a year before the bank came to take it because it was up for foreclosure. Luckily, we got into where I am now, which I can't say really lucky. I live in a project apartment in, Youngstown, Ohio. It's the poorest city in the country. But let's get back to what I was talking about. Trauma does funny things to people. I started, for some reason, there was a nice little shop in Struthers, Ohio called The Hidden Path. They closed last year. One of my favorite places in the world. Very spiritual. Pretty much everything you want. They had tarot cards. They had pretty much anything from any religion, crystals, all kinds of things. Anything you could possibly want, they had there if it had to do with anything spiritual. My daughter took me in there one day, and as I'm looking around, I was just drawn to this pack of tarot cards. I started just looking at them. The image, it was called the Dark Angels. They were very dark, very kind of scary. I did a couple readings for people, and they just went, "Ooh, those cards are scary." Yeah, they are, but I like them because of the imagery on them. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but trauma can really mess up your brain. It can actually cause physical brain damage. For over a year, I studied the cards and couldn't remember the meanings of them. Like, my brain would not retain any of the information. So I started just associating the meanings of the cards with the pictures on the cards. I got this deck, the Tarot of Light. I love this deck. This is a beautiful deck. Just the imagery on them, everything. I started associating the meanings of the cards. Someone told me, well, my boyfriend told me that, he's a good guy. He told me that my brain was retaining the information, but the pathway to get to it was, I was struggling to find it. So I'd look at the meaning of the card, and I'd look at the actual card, and I started studying the pictures. And that's how I learned to read them intuitively. When I put the cards together, it's like everything just clicks together, like what they're trying to tell me. But I get judged a lot for doing this. People go, why would you want to open a YouTube channel with tarot? Because it makes me happy. I really don't care if it ever gets big. I really don't care. I mean, yeah, I'd like to have some followers. I'd like to, because I've always wanted to help people, wanted to counsel people, you know, let them know that it doesn't matter. I can talk about, I've always been judged for talking about what has happened to me in my life, all the abusive relationships, the traumatic experience, you know, of a couple years ago, losing my home, being homeless, having to start over, everything. And I've always been completely open about it. And people were like, you're weird. Why do you talk about that stuff? Because I can. It's not because I want validation. It's not because I want people to feel bad for me. I just want people to know it doesn't matter what you go through. You can survive it. And it's hard. It's very hard. But every day I get up, and every day that God wakes me up and I'm breathing, I get another chance. If I can inspire one person, if I can get through to one person, counsel one person, help one person think differently about their situation, not feel sorry for themselves, not want to give up. If I can, one person a day, then I feel like I've accomplished something. I don't do this because I want to be famous. I don't do this because I want to be popular. I don't do it for validation. I don't do it for anything. I do it because I want to help people. I want people to truly get some clarity, get some guidance, get some, you know, I like just helping people. Don't mind me. I'm a crybaby. I want to make a difference. I don't want anything, you know, need anything from it. I just want to make a difference in anybody's life. If they can think of me and go, you know, because of you, I didn't give up, then I accomplished something. I haven't made the best choices in life, and I know that. But I have done everything I can to make up for that. And something has drawn me to do this. I don't know why. I had so many signs telling me, yeah, just try it out. See what happens. So I did. And I don't care if I only get 10 views on a video or I have like 9 subscribers. I don't care. I don't care. Somebody's watching, somebody's getting the message, somebody's sharing it, somebody's seeing it and maybe getting a little bit of clarity out of their situation. Maybe getting a little bit of guidance, maybe getting a little bit of reality. But anyway, I just wanted you to know about me. I hope you're all having a great night. Much love.